Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Bloodborne How To. In this video we'll be taking down the Amygdala boss in Nightmare Frontier. So, preparations for the fight before we get started. The boss, other than one laser attack which it shoots from its head, deals exclusively physical damage. So armour, I'm just wearing the Yahoo set, the black garb, because it's got really high physical defense. Weapons, ideally, you want something that has a large swing. So the Hunter's Axe in halberd form, the Burial Blade, Ludwig in its Great Sword phase, Threaded Cane. These are good options. The reason for that being is the boss takes massively reduced damage on its limbs, but takes like loads of damage if you manage to hit it in the head. So if you've got a weapon that can hit like an arc above you, then it's easier to hit the head. But there are also other ways of doing this effectively. Now, the boss is really resistant to blunt damage, so try and stay away from that. And really weak to all forms of elemental damage. That being said, even with an elementally charged weapon, you'll still not do much damage on the limbs. Once you've done a certain amount of damage, it'll bleed a limb and you'll do more damage to that limb. So that's one way of tackling the fight. Generally speaking though, the easiest way is to try and stay at range. Because the boss has got such a massive weakness in the form of its head, all we're going to do really is aim for the head with ranged weapons. And that is going to be more or less our strategy for the fight. So let's get into it. Now again, the boss has a couple of phases. Phase 1 and 2 are relatively similar. The only real difference is that if phase 3, it'll rip 2 of its arms off and use them as weapons, which only serves to increase its range and damage. As you can see, this is the laser I was talking about, which I've just got hit by there. Now, you'll notice the laser itself does no damage, but it leaves explosions along the floor afterwards. She's got a big pound there, which now is a good time to hit the limbs if you want. Generally speaking, after most of our... oh, she can spit acid as well, which you'll see right here. So generally speaking, after our big melee attacks, you usually have time to get a couple of hits in. There's the laser attack again. But our strategy that we're mainly going to be focusing on is using, like, aiming for the head and using bone marrow ash. So I'll put one on my repeating pistol here. Now the trick is to time it when she's not doing something, so after an attack really. Because if she moves too much, you'll miss. And I didn't get the head there, so we'll try again. But as you can see, I got 500 damage there. Now this boss has quite a low HP pool for a boss this late into the game. Now, I'm just using my repeating pistol and it's like +5 or something, and I'm getting decent mileage out of the bone marrow ash when I actually hit, of course. But one strategy that makes this fight incredibly simple is to just, if you're a strength build, use the cannon with bone marrow ash, and doing that you can kill the boss in about 4 hits. But we'll take the opportunity there. I've bled a limb there. Well, that limb will take more damage now if I hit it. But our primary source of damage is going to be bone marrow ash on our pistol. Although I'm doing an absolutely shit job of aiming it at the minute. There we go, it's more like it. So we can rush in and get an attack here. And of course, like many other bosses, if you do enough damage to the head, you can get a visceral. which we'll take there. Right, so now we're in phase 2. So the boss has gained those attacks where he slams into the floor with energy, like that, and as you can see, a lot of damage. The premise remains roughly the same though. Yeah, and his laser attack changes to be he can sometimes do the big one, sometimes he'll do like short controlled bursts, but it's essentially the same thing, it's just variations. You still have to dodge them both the same way. Yeah, so now we're in phase 3 and he's tore 2 of his arms off. And as expected, his range goes through the roof here. So you'll have to be on point with your dodges. Now usually that jump, he's gained it in phase 3, but normally he uses it to back away from you. And there we can run in and get a visceral. And that's the fight. Really simple. Yeah, as I was saying before I killed the boss there. What was I saying? It was about one of his attacks. I can't remember. Can't have been that important then. Anyway, quick recap. So the boss isn't terribly difficult to deal with. He's got a big ground pound in front of him which you can dodge any direction to avoid. His laser is a big long line. The laser itself doesn't do damage, but the explosions afterwards do. That changes in phase 2 to be short bursts sometimes. Oh, that was it. That was the thing in phase 3. When he gains the jump, usually he uses that to jump away from you, but he can use it to jump on top of you, as you saw, and I got hit by it. So strategy-wise is, like, I didn't even buff my weapon with an element there, but if you can, you'll get more juice out of it. Head is a massive weak point, so any weapons you've got that can target the head do good damage, like even throwing knives do like around 150 to 200 damage. So even if you've got a stack of them on you, it can make the boss significantly easier. Or the strategy we used was dodge his attacks, wait until he stops moving, and hit him with a bone marrow ash on your pistol. And again, if you're a strength build and you've got the cannon, then that works wonders too. So I hope that video helped, guys. I realised it was a bit of a short one and I didn't really get to talk about things in as much detail as I usually would, but hopefully that helps, and I'll catch you next time on the next episode of Bloodborne How To.